All for great savings, right? Flow gives you up to $80 a month off your mobile by just adding it to your home bundle. Enjoy the fastest internet speeds and free mobile calls from your home phone, plus HBO and free internet speed upgrade. That's more value while you spend less. Switch today. Bundle and save up to $80 a month off your mobile. Call us at 1-800-804-2994 or visit us in store. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
You're watching MBC.
Good night, Sinushan. Welcome to another episode of Police Insight. I am your host, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte of the Royal Sinusha Police Force. We do apologize for the late start, but there was so much happening in the past week, past couple of days, past 24 hours, that the news production team had to try their best to fit it all in. So thank you for staying tuned. This is Police Inside. We're live on NBC television. I'd like to say good night to our police commissioner, Mr. Daisy, our deputies, assistant commissioners of police, gazette officers, inspectors, sergeants, corporals, constables. I've got this congestion, people, I tell you. I don't know if there's something in the air, whatever the case may be. Constables, special police constables, good night to you. Special reserve officers, peace officers, city police, good night to you. Our ex-police officers, thank you for what you've done for our country. Brothers and sisters in law enforcement, bodily correctional facility, customs, Sinusha Fire Service, Port Police, good night to you all. I have no guest tonight. I'm hoping that my guest will be you, as we have an open mic night tonight on Police Insight. We really like to hear from you. What's bothering you? What do you think? Give me your solutions to our daily problems in St. Lucia. We have so much going on, from homicides, gun violence, whether it be loud music annoyance in the communities, harassment, even to do you have issues with our service, the police service, in terms of customer service, in terms of making reports? How about follow-ups? You know, the COVID laws. Yeah, the much talked about, laws, and we're trying our best to enforce them. We would like to hear from you, and so we're going to be opening the lines very, very early. And just before I do that, I have a little bit of progress, some good news. And before I continue, I'd like to say good night, especially to our criminal investigators. Those are the CID. You guys are just amazing, the work that you do, and also all those who support them, because we have patrol teams, who provide the security for some operations. So when our investigators are out there doing what they can to crack down or solve, detect, whatever you want to call it, most of those investigations, those heinous crimes, we really have to big them up. Some of those officers don't actually have an off day. It's like working a shift, working for a couple of days, and then when you're expecting to knock off to go home to your family, you're in the courts. We now know we have Zoom court, but it's the same thing. Online court, but it's the same thing. The time is still being devoted more to the job than at being at home. Some would say they get paid for it. Man, you don't want to go there when it comes to the salary. So, heartfelt appreciation to all our members, but I just want to spotlight tonight those in criminal investigations. whether you had the major crimes, CID, Castries, Grosley, Vieux-Fort, all around the island, hats off to you. So I know some of you, I'm sure, remember that. I think that was our latest homicide, Wednesday, 24th March, where the body of 24-year-old Teddy Charles was discovered. Well, I'm pleased to report that a suspect is in custody, and according to the information I received, most likely, charges will be preferred soon in that investigation. So just great news. And we still have a lot of cases that still outstanding in terms of someone being charged. We'll continue to ask for the help, make the plea for the help from the public. We have our own investigative procedures, but we need the assistance. Never ever think that some information that you may have is not important or bears no weight on investigation. Sometimes something you heard, no matter how insignificant it may be to you, it is important. Share it with the police. You could also share it anonymously. Yeah, there's ways to do that. And if you still don't feel comfortable for whatever reason having a discussion with a particular police officer, there must be someone in the community you could pass on the information to. We have community leaders, we have pastors, we have priests. There must be somebody you could share that information with. So we're going to open up the lines and hope we get some calls. It's 4533-911, 4533-911. Let me hear from you. Are you happy with the new protocols? And speaking of new protocols, curfew times, I think can we put that up on the screen, Shane? I know that most of you have heard about it already, but just in case those of you who may have missed it, which I kind of doubt, this Easter weekend we have new curfew times. Tuesday, April 1st, 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. Friday, April 2nd, Good Friday, 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. But when we start going more into the weekend, Saturday, April 3rd, it's from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. On Sunday, 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. Easter Sunday, 3 p.m. people. Yeah. On Monday, Easter Monday, it's 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. also. And then we resume back to the 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. on Tuesday, April 6th. And there's no doubt, excuse me, there's no doubt, I'm not part of the NEMAC meetings, but I know for sure that the past couple of weeks, some of us have decided to not really follow protocols, that social distancing doesn't matter. And we've seen videos, we've seen video evidence of individuals on the beach in particular areas. We've seen what happened when we had a fracas in Grosley, also in Soufrière. And people, for whatever reason, and there are those who would come up with the reasons, but the fact is we do have a section of the society, of the populace, who is not adhering to the protocols. And if we look at Easter, now I was minded to say, if you look at how Easter have been celebrated, with a lot of, before COVID, with a lot of, engagement and partying and etc. But if we were to go even way back, and those of you who are much older than me could call to correct me or even, add on to what I'm saying. I remember growing up, Easter was a moment where the communities really slowed down. When I say slow down, to understand the celebration of Easter, especially for those of you who are Catholic, it has a lot to do with being holy, being in terms of understanding the reason for Easter. You know, Jesus Christ, the crucifixion, the ascension. So way back, Easter was time. I remember growing up when it came to Good Friday, we were told so many things when we were young, and I guess that was part of it for our parents used to, I don't know if you want to call it scares or whatever the case may be, but we've heard things about not climbing a coconut tree. Well, at least that's what I experienced. Not climbing a coconut tree on Good Friday, or going to the beach. The sea has turned to blood. I'm not saying that we're supposed to have stayed in that level of ignorance, because there's no doubt that never happened. But the observance of Easter was always one of supposed to have been of prayer, of family time, of staying home. And when I say staying home, not like literally staying home, but just taking it easy. But as time goes by, as generations go by, we realize that the holidays, those that are considered holy according to the Catholic Church, and I keep saying that because I know that everyone is Catholic. You know, some people say, but I'm not Catholic, I don't need to observe the, excuse me, I really need to figure out what's going on with me here. They don't have to observe their religious holidays, but yet there was an understanding and a respect for it. But now we have evolved to the religious holidays is an opportunity to fete, to revel, you know. So recently, in recent years, more recent years, it will be about a lot of gathering, mass gathering on the beaches, in the rivers, etc., everywhere. But the problem is, people, we are dealing with COVID. And you know, and I just have to mention it because that's the reality. That is the fact. And the police have been so stretched. It's not funny, you know. I mean, like they say, sometimes you have to be in it to feel it and understand it. You know, just before we came on live, Mr. Chad Daisy, good night to you. I realized Mr. Chad Daisy is saying that instead of just talking and whatever the case may be, you should join a club. Well, I wish I could tell you you should join the police force for you to understand how stretched we are. You know, it's beyond understanding, because the police is one of the very few employees in St. Lucia that cannot work from home. Could you imagine the police is saying we're working from home? Yeah? We were not able to make such of a big difference in the way we operate like some other employees can, like some other job descriptions, you know. So the police say, you know, we're working from home due to COVID. So people don't go to the station. They might have only one officer there. The other officers are at home. When you make that report, then that officer at the station will probably, let's say if the report happens in Moshi, Zachary Hippolyte is at home in Moshi. So then Zachary will now take a walk down the road and try and investigate it and go back to his home. We did not have the luxury of doing that. So some of my colleagues welcome, because we know if left to normalcy in terms of the 9 p.m. or the 7 p.m. for the Easter, the difficulties we would face because we are so stretched. And that is just the reality, folks. That's just the situation, you know. And at the same time, I need everyone, whether it be at the level of government, whether it be at the level of the hierarchy of the organization, all the way down, especially those with influence, the need to understand that you are being observed police officers, you are being observed, and rightly so, because of the position you hold, the status you hold, that we must set the example. We must set the example. Because when you find, let's say, high-level officials or ministers of government or police officers, doctors, frontliners themselves are involved in activities that go against the very same protocols that we are trying to ensure the entire nation needs to follow. It creates some form of confusion and resentment and anger in the rest of the populace. And that's just how it is. So we need to set by example. That does not mean that we need to turn a blind eye of those who are breaking protocols. Or because, that officer broke protocol, so that means I should not caution you or I should not take action if you broke protocol. But it makes it more difficult now for me as a human being to actually, when you have a conscience that, hey, I'm about to go hard on this individual, and just last week one of my colleagues was doing the same thing. Or even I was doing the same thing, and now I'm trying to arrest you or caution you for something that I myself is doing. It's not right. It's unethical. It's totally unethical. So we have the first call, Shane? Yeah. Okay, let's take that call. Good night, caller.
My friend.
How you doing, my brother?
I cool line over.
Yes, thank you for calling. It's open mic, so
man,
what do you have to say?
Your last set of statements, I tend to support you,
Okay.
Because you see, what is really going on there? As if like, we the public, we have reasons to believe as if like the law is a kind of lopsided,
Mm-hmm.
As if like, it is just there for one set of people to adhere to. It is just there for one set of people to conform to. And like on the other side, you just find people who hold reins of power, be it in government or they're just flaunting the laws and as if like, and that is going to aggravate any society. So the law has to be one that is always viewed as ensuring that everybody conform to the rules and the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And I have a problem with that 3 o'clock. It has to think, Brother Harry.
You have no problem with it?
Brother Harry, I am 53 years old, man.
Okay. Does that mean let us say before COVID was there, what did you normally do during the Easter weekend?
Yeah, well, say like a little dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't really strong I don't really drink alcohol, But you find a little movement, like a little going by the beach, a little something. And to me, to have yes, we are taking the COVID, but to me, we're supposed to have the COVID under control. Do we? What are our figures like? To me, there was a drop.
Well, yes, yes, the authorities are reporting a drop in terms of cases and stuff like that.
I have a problem with that 3 o'clock in the afternoon thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was growing up, I think our curfew time was about 6. Same time with the fouls, Tell me, you were 6 o'clock, you were fouls, you were fouls going and you should know last time, I had to go inside, bedtime. But I mean, you have people on an Easter at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Something is fundamentally wrong with that. I know you're not satisfied with that, because
yeah.
I know you and you know me. You know, that's my contribution.
Thank you.
The law supposed to be there for everybody, and in my humble view, I have something. It should be something wrong with that 3 o'clock in the afternoon, man. Hey, boy, have a good one.
You too. Have a good night. Thank you for calling. Yes, so we need to take this very serious, people. We have another call on the line? Okay. Good night, caller. Thank you for calling Police Inside.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night, couple.
How you doing?
Yes, first time when I quit.
Okay.
Not too bad, huh?
Thank you.
Oui.
Turn down the...
What's your mama, Dennis officer?
Oh, okay. Turn down the volume on your TV a little bit, ma'am.
Yes, officer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead again. You are the mother of who?
Dennis Francis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dennis Francis. Yes, he's officer, commissioner on the thing, yeah. At first time, moi toujours écouter.
Merci, mamie.
But pour en soi, moi dis n'a crier pour bien petit bail, but protocole ça, je dois faire
OK. Parlez bon,
mais moi-même content et moi pas rien en ça. Ou ça pour qui a dit ça? C'est nous qui a désobéi, qui a cause. C'est pas ça qui vient dans nous. Si le Premier ministre a dit ça, eh bien, loi a dit ça, et tout le monde a follow exemple là, ça va faire. Mais because moun pas ka écouter loi, yo pas ka écouter moun, yo pas ka mettre yo faire yo son moi qui pas dans et puis l'autre qui ka écouter, nous ka ça même bail là. Même si on a dit comme Prime Minister c'est ça. Mais we can back 100%. Tout le temps pas attendre faire l'autre bail encore, mettez encore. Oui, mettez. Parce que nous ne pouvons pas écouter. Bon Dieu dit nous obéir. C'est que nous ne... Bon Dieu dit nous obéir. Nous qui nous rule over nous.
Quittez-moi une question, mamie. Ou c'est un catholique?
Yes, officer. Non, moi, je suis Pentecostal.
Oh, Pentecostal, OK.
Yes.
OK. Mais est-ce que a changé tant passé, le ti mamay, manière moun te ka observer Easter?
Yes, officer. Because tant l'autre, je n'ai plus respect because you do Good Friday, c'est là Jésus-Christ souffert et tout bail pour un moun ka mouton. So il n'y a plus respect, moun te kaya à l'église, elsewhere, whatsoever, pour moun just ou savent bon Dieu, yo dit pour bon Dieu, yo ka dit vendredi c'est Good Friday. So moun te ka adorer et moun te ka porter dans sa couche à respect. But now, no respect for Good Friday, no respect for no Friday, no respect for nobody. You know?
Okay, mommy.
So that's why we going through that kind of process, we go in there. Yeah. And they want to blame the Prime Minister even though things going wrong sometimes. The Prime Minister, right. If they cannot take that protocol and respect the government, especially you are police, you are tired and they give you all too much work. Yes. Yes. That's why. So they have to face it. The protocol, the time is good. If they cannot obey that time, they put another closer. Well, now nobody can work at all.
Okay, mommy. Merci tellement pour oui. Merci. Good night. Bonsoir. Okay, and the first time caller, the mom of Officer Dennis Francis. Dennis. Another call? Yes. Let's take that call. Good night, caller. Thank you for calling Police Insight.
Yeah, Mr. Officer.
What's up, buddy? Talk to me.
Well, I am calling for the first time, and I'm saying, Mr. Officer, I do not like how this thing is. I do not support this thing, and I'm saying that this is in violation of our civil liberties, because we St. Lucians have been complying with this COVID protocol for the longest while, and there are ways in which government can do things. They are just imposing things on people without telling people anything, and then we're supposed to adhere to what they are saying, and when they finish, they are the biggest criminals. They are doing contrary. So if there are laws in the country, it's supposed to be both for me and for those that are in authority. So it's not one set of rules for one set of people and another rule for another. The Prime Minister have been seen in many places doing violating protocols, and then he can just come and impose things on us. And there are some persons who come in and say they support him. I disagree. Good night.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your call and your opinion. And by all means, everyone is entitled to their opinion. But the reality of it is, we need to adhere to the protocols because it works. If everyone remember, I think it was for the Christmas period. Do we all remember what happened after the Christmas period? There was a little bit more of a lapse in the protocols, and then there was this great spike. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not able to say with 100% certainty that as a result of Christmas that we had this spike, but it makes for a big argument. Okay, so there are those who will agree with the new curfew times for the Easter, and there are those who would not agree with it. We're now going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to take some more calls. I wish to talk about the most prevalent offense for the past couple of weeks in St. Lucia, so stay tuned to Police Insight.
Free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
COVID-19 stigma will not protect you.
I don't want that child playing with my child.
He better stay away from me.
Be kind during COVID-19. Follow all protocols.
That disease I have no cure.
Mika COVID. Learn the facts about the virus.
Me, I'm not working with any COVID person.
She better stay away from me.
Let's not turn fear into stigma. A message from the St. Lucia Red Cross.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal. The future of pain relief.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete. So fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Derma Clinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Derma Clinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
All for great savings, right? Flow gives you up to $80 a month off your mobile by just adding it to your home bundle. Enjoy the fastest internet speeds and free mobile calls from your home phone, plus HBO and free internet speed upgrade. That's more value while you spend less. Switch today. Bundle and save up to $80 a month off your mobile. Call us at 1-800-804-2994 or visit us in store. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
You're watching MBC.
Welcome back, St. Lucia, to Police Insight. I am your host, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. It's open mic night, so if you have any questions, suggestions, any comment at all on any issue, you could always call me right here. We have another call on the line. Let's say good night to this caller. Good night, caller.
Yes, good night, Zach. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, buddy, what's up, man? I'm fine. Talk to me.
Okay. Zach, I heard at least one of your callers earlier highlighting that the law apparently applies to some and not to others and so on. And whereas, you know, in any society you may find some level of disparity and so on. I mean, this is not always the case. This is not, you know, how things operate here. And people need to understand that, you know, the laws are there for a reason, and everybody needs to follow the laws. We have the COVID-19 protocol. Persons need to follow the protocol because they are put there for a reason. It is not for style. Okay, and I can tell you that just to counter what this previous caller said about these people, and he actually mentioned the Prime Minister. Now, it is not to defend the Prime Minister in any way, but you know, sometimes when people say things and you know better, it is, you know, good sometimes that you speak about it. And I want to just recall an incident where there was some activity by the some constituency branch, and the Prime Minister he came to that location. Now, I wasn't at work, but I was in the area, and I saw what was happening, and I spoke to those persons who were involved in the management of that event and so on. And at the time they indicated that, you know, everything was more or less quelling. They were done with what they were doing and so on. And but it appeared that because the Prime Minister was present, that you know, and apparently the word was going out, you know, rather than people actually leaving, you saw the crowd sort of growing. And the Prime Minister was approached, and he was spoken to about what his presence was causing. And, you know, what he indicated was, sir, if my presence is creating a problem, I will be happy to leave. You know, and
but some would say that he should have known that his presence would have caused a problem. He is the prime minister.
Well, I mean, it was not. I mean, there were other persons in the area and so on. But I'm telling you, you know, having spoken to him, you know, he decided he would leave. He would leave the area. He did not have to leave. He could have behaved like other persons and say, well, he's not breaking the law. He's just there, you know, sitting and so on. But he decided, you know, if my presence is creating a problem, I'm happy to leave. And soon after that, he actually left the area, you know. And so when people come out and make statements without them having the facts, you know, it is just misinforming other people, and some people feed on that misinformation. Okay? And that is why I want to live out there with those people. When you are approached by the police, it is not because the police dislike you, you know, or the police just want to harass you. The police will approach you because you are doing something that is against the law. Okay? And you need to respect the fact that the police approach you. It will happen to anybody. Anybody who is breaking the law or is causing a problem in the maintenance of the law, the police have the right to approach them. So those people who believe that their rights have been infringed upon by curfews being imposed and so on, there is a proper way to deal with that. Go to the courts. Go to the court, put your injunction, do what you need to do, you know, and see how it plays out.
Yeah, which is your right, yeah.
Believe that you can just go and decide, you know what, I don't say that law is unjust, so I'm not following it, and so on. You are going to get yourself in trouble, you know. And for this weekend, this holiday weekend coming up, I want to advise, you know, our people to respect the laws, respect law enforcement, do what is required of you. If you want to challenge, you know, what's there, do it the proper way. But don't go looking for trouble and then tomorrow for you to come crying on television that it is because you are poor. You need to understand, you need to know that you are poor before you go and you start breaking laws. And it is not that you are not being warned, it's not that you don't know, you understand? Because, trust me, if you are ignorant, okay, you don't know better, the law will have regard for that. Okay? You know better, you need to do better.
Thank you.
That is what I want to live with our people.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Yes, good night. Thank you for your contribution. Those of you in the Facebook chat, live streaming chat, thank you so much for your support. Let me see if I could call out some names before call come back. Victor C. Anthony, good night to you. Angela Hippolyte, Narcis Moise, good night. Amanda Charles, DJ Mega Anatole, Jim Joseph, who else we got here? Tessa John, Josie Finn Stephen, Marble Francis, Marilyn Canshan, good night to you. Manny Vic, good night to you. Who else we got there? Martha James, good night to you all. Those of you, Randa Norbert, those of you in the Facebook live chat. You could also WhatsApp me on 7200401, 7200401. Okay, I have a message here on the WhatsApp texting platform. Let me just pull it up. And I also want to speak on approach. because there's two sides to both of the stories when we hear about approach. But let me just read this. For tonight's open mic, thank you, viewer, for your message. 2 weeks ago, I was unfortunate enough to overhear a young man condone the death of Hermina Lord. Wow. His logic was that her death was no surprise. He gave the impression that he had foreseen it because she took her job too personal. I have never met Mrs. Lord, but I suspect her story will remain with far longer than it would have thanks to the young man's comments. The sad truth is it resonated so strongly within me because I know he is not alone in this manner of thinking. Have you never heard neighbors wish the same fate on each other? Oftentimes they say it outright. You will make somebody do something with you. Whether or not Miss Lord was an extreme disciplinarian, she acted in accordance with the law. Whether or not you agree or disagree with the letter of the law, the spirit of the law is what preserves order, and in these troubled times, we must remember that without order, chaos will rule. I know this does not apply to all of us, but if even some or us choose to cheapen the value of a human life and condone the loss of one of our very own people, a daughter, a sister, a mother, over something as petty as disagreements on matters which in time will have no power over us. Example, the COVID-19 protocols, which are only temporary, then we are in for troubled times ahead. Signed, a warden in tongue. Thank you, warden in tongue, for what you have stated. Mr. Miguel Francis, good night to you. Good night to you, Miguel Francis. Mr. Jim Joseph, good night to you. Thank you so much. Mr. Jim Joseph sent me a message there. Oh, interesting. Take a look at the curfew in Jamaica. I'm going to send this for you, Shane. So probably when you get an opportunity, you could put it up on the screen. Okay. I have another message here from the WhatsApp texting platform. Good evening, Mr. Zach. Once again, great topic, great show. My humble opinion for the weekend, it should be 24 hours curfew. Wow, people. Here is someone asking for 24 hours. There will be too much house to house, too much drinking, which will cause drunken driving, rising COVID cases when schools are scheduled for reopening. This is my view. Thank you, caller, for your message. Let's take this call. Good night. Thank you for calling Police Insight.
Good night.
Good night, sir. Talk to me.
Mr. Zachary, I missed the show, the opening of the show.
Okay.
But anything on the night, like anything special tonight?
Well, we're talking about, it's an open mic. It's an open mic night. We're talking about any various policing topic, but the number one hot topic thus far has been the new curfew times, the adjustment in the curfew times for Easter weekend.
Well, what did that concern me? Very curfew thing, that was. I mean, that doesn't worry me.
Okay.
But I don't know, the people in the command or the command center, remember, we are a Catholic nation, right?
Yes, we are.
Now, usually, it's customary for years. I was not born yet, far as now. Since God knows when we were having Mass on Saturday night. Did they make plan for that? Was there any thinking of that, of Saturday night? Because you know that's something glorious. I mean, and then you have Easter Sunday the next day. So I don't know whether they didn't think of that, because don't forget we are a Catholic nation. We have Adventists and what, but we are Catholic in the majority. And usually, that thing they call it Sunday Gloria. When people go to church at night, I never at 8 o'clock or whatever time they go to church.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody thought of that thing. I don't know what was the thinking, but so that passed the people. Now I don't know how the Catholic people will take it, but that is their thing. That is the tradition. We know very well. Last year there was no the cross. This year will be the same thing too.
Apparently.
But that one day, that's something where everybody see Christ was written on like this, that day or whatever. I'm not in the contention thing, but I don't want to let people know. I don't know whether the command center people thought about that. That was one of my concerns. So I don't know What say you according to Bolio?
Well, I mean, if I'm an active Catholic going individual worshiper, I would have been concerned too. Hopefully, maybe we might hear a statement from the Catholic Church, but I know for sure they have in the past. Well, they have been supporting the protocol, so I don't know. Maybe we might get a statement from them.
Yeah, because that's one. That's what I don't if we skip them or whatever. But that was one of my concerns. But anything else, I mean, Curfew don't worry me because I mean, once you what time. No, already at so that's all.
What do you think of the performance of our wardens thus far? I know you've observed them. You're in the city and whatnot.
The only thing that had me a little concerned some time ago was the funeral thing.
Okay.
But all in all, they've been doing well. I find, and most of them have come to the rescue. I mean, I must say, by some time ago they joined the house. Mm-hmm. I think, what is the lady name? She called in a guy and said, hey, where Batman? And felt like he didn't hear. And she had to intervene and say, I'm talking to you. And then a police had to come and tell the guy, listen to me, man. I think, is it Inspector Poyot? I think he shall be promoted now. Mm-hmm. And to call on the guy and tell the guy, listen to me. And very
yes,
nice, he did like he didn't hear. I was like a partner, the police talking to you, what happened to you? You know? All in all, but that's the only incident I didn't like. I didn't like tonight. I find the funeral, the COVID people had to be there. I mean, the wardens had to be there beforehand to check on the people coming in. You can't let these people things start there and come and walk in and try to put people out because it was not nice. And I don't blame the priest, no. I don't blame the priest because the priest has his right too. Mm-hmm. What he's saying should be there before any funeral starts to conduct your business. If you know that, that's your business, but you have to be there.
But the police still has the right and the authority to enter there even whilst masses or the funeral is going on, caller.
It is too bad, Mr. Zachary. It's not nice. I mean, big thing going on already. Family, that tell people are in mourning and things like that, and then come there put people out. I mean, it's not nice. I don't think it's right. Okay. I am saying it has to be done. It has to be done, but do it right. Be there on time. That's my point to you. Mm-hmm. I solely let them know there was a funeral. We were there at the time. Don't let people think start and then come time. I mean, nobody would like to be embarrassed to be putting you out. No. And I will get vexed. Even the road will get vexed. I'm saying, I don't think it should happen again.
Yeah, I'm hoping not. I don't think we're not supposed to be. Yeah.
Anyway, have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Have a good night, caller. Right. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah. Let me just check on the WhatsApp texting platform again. Like I said, it's 7200401, and we have a statement here. I like to say good night to Yadi. Good night to you, my brother. I watch you every morning. Yeah. My contribution is, why are the lawmakers becoming lawbreakers? As you could see, the Prime Minister and Sarah Flood are meeting young people with no mask, and to make it worse, he wouldn't be in the ghetto without bodyguards, and they are all police. Why don't they educate him about his why don't they educate him about his own laws or remind him? Absurd. And that's coming from our brother Yadi right there. And I think he sent a clip for me, reference to showing something that's going on there with the Prime Minister. Like I have said, we who are in terms of enforcement of law, government, whether it be the proposition, I mean those the ruling party, if you want to call it that, and the opposition, all of us, we will always be scrutinized more than the common man, you know. So we must always have at the forefront of our minds, and sometimes it's not something that is deliberate, it's not pre-planned. But yet we must, as much as possible, have at the front of our minds that, hey, am I adding to the problem? Am I contributing to the issue? Am I probably even making it a little more difficult for law enforcement? I mean, just some time ago, we were informed that one of our very own colleagues was arrested and charged for breaking one of the COVID protocols. So we need to be mindful. We have a call on the line. Okay, let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Good evening to you, Sergeant Hippolyte.
Good evening, sir. Thanks for calling. Talk to me.
How are you doing?
Hi there, holding on. How about you?
Holding on.
Yes.
Interesting topic, curfew for the weekend. I have no problems with what's going on. It's better we be safe than we be sorry. Better we save lives than at the end of the day. What persons who said, had we knew that we have locked down or have a curfew in place? I saw Jamaica.
Yes.
I saw Jamaica with a tough curfew.
Shit, can you put it on the screen while he's talking?
I said to myself, whether Andrew Holness would have been St. Lucia, that would be a different thing. But again, it's the medical team in this country that know best. Some persons went to school, they never did chemistry, biology, science. But everyone these days are doctors in this country. And to be honest, I applaud the step taken because I know for sure, come Sunday, come Monday, that is problems in St. Lucia. Especially in the Pigeon Point area, Sunday beach area. We all know what usually happens on that day. And it's a very hard task for the police to deal with that situation.
And in your reference to Jamaica, caller, I believe what I have on screen is the curfew schedule. And I'm seeing, even on Saturday, April 3rd, curfew is at noon. And on the 4th, it's all day until Tuesday.
All day.
My goodness.
I tell you, yes, again, persons, it's Easter weekend and persons want to be out there. No problem, we all know what it is, to be able to have a good time to visit families, to go and visit friends. But at the end of the day, it is for our own good, it's for our own protection.
Okay, Shane, you can take it down.
We still have a few over 100 active cases in this country. As the CMO rightly said, if we have under 50, we are good. Things will be brighter for us. But let us just stay at home, okay? Stay at home and ahead of the protocols. Tout le monde veut tout partout, faites pas qu'à finir, me lever, si ma maille, la télé fête. Then please faites toujours. Pour tout le monde pour l'autre that. We all are one. Let us beat our brothers people. Let us maintain what we have, and then we'll go forward. Yes, it's a weekend. Some persons that are strong Catholic will be affected. When I watch on a Good Friday, I'm a strong Catholic. When I watch on a Friday, Good Friday usually mass is at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes, it extends to 5 o'clock or thereabout. Or early morning there is a vigil. Okay. Yes, the Saturday it will be affected because persons as the longest mass. The persons are going to mass on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But the Catholic Church can understand that. The Archbishop will understand the situation. Okay, they will be preaching safety. I know persons will feel away, but we are one. We will prevail. God is good. Okay, and I always said on the jovial way, God is from Chozel. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Have a good night.
All right.
God is from Chozel. I know some of the other communities will take exception to that. Okay, we have another caller on the line. Good night, caller.
Yeah, Zachary.
What's up, buddy? Thanks for calling.
I feel I had to call, When people make reference to Jamaica, if they notice that during the election...
Caller, you there? Oh, don't tell me we lost him.
The reigning Prime Minister.
Yeah.
That's the problem you have now. And you have to deal with it. And you have to take any step. But in our case, from day one, we took stringent decisions where we had 24-hour curfew. Do you understand? We never dropped the ball early, but Holness dropped the ball early because Holness was among crowd. And if you go online, if all people talking about Jamaica, I'm very close to the Jamaica community.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I have lots of friends in Jamaica which I deal with regular and I reg because of my promotions up there with them. So when people talking about Jamaica, Holness was the one who caused what's happening now. You remember the case at the call center?
I read that.
Yeah.
I read that.
Jamaica had events happening just last week or 2 weeks ago. They had a truck attacked by a session where the soldiers in Jamaica were loading patrons of that fete on board. So Jamaica dropped the ball, and now that's how politicians behave, you know. You know, when they lap, they do things to accomplish their goals, and when they get the goals, now they take advantage of the people. So when people talking about Jamaica, what Jamaica do now is because of the Prime Minister messing up. So it's not about he should have maintained protocol during the election too. You know, that is my contribution. It's just, you know, people just follow the laws. Make sure you guys don't break the laws. It will better our country, but don't use Jamaica as a balance. It's not.
I see. Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. So this caller was saying is that it's not really fair to be trying to compare with what's happening in Jamaica right now in terms of their curfew laws, because it's like Jamaica brought this on themselves. So what he's saying is that in essence, we shouldn't be that stringent because we've been doing way better than Jamaica. That's what he's trying to say. Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. Let me see there. Okay. Cherry Sweetness Emmanuel, good night to you. Jordan Michelle, Felicia Daniel, yes, good night to you all. Let me check the WhatsApp texting platform again. The number is 4533-911, 4533-911, 7200401. 7200401. And I have a message, a question actually from a concerned citizen. They just wanted to know if the warden contract will be renewed for another month. At this point in time, viewer, I do not know. I don't have that information. If my mind serves me correctly, and a colleague of mine could also correct me or give me some more information, I think the current contract ends until the 1st of March, but I don't think that any pronouncement has been made from the Prime Minister's office or the Ministry of Health in terms of the continuation of the contract for the wardens. So maybe we will get some information on that. Who knows? Maybe next week. Let us see. Melissa Emmanuel, how are you doing? Cuz good night to you. And okay, Shane, let's take another break and then we'll come back. Stay tuned to Police Insight.
Free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
All for great savings, right? Flow gives you up to $80 a month off your mobile by just adding it to your home bundle. Enjoy the fastest internet speeds and free mobile calls from your home phone, plus HBO and free internet speed upgrade. That's more value while you spend less. Switch today, bundle and save up to $80 a month off your mobile. Call us at 1-800-804-2994 or visit us in store. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete. So fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Derma Clinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Derma Clinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
COVID-19 stigma will not protect you.
I don't want that child playing with my child.
He better stay away from me.
Be kind during COVID-19. Follow all protocols.
That disease I have no cure.
Mika COVID. Learn the facts about the virus.
Me, I'm not working with any COVID person.
She better stay away from me.
Let's not turn fear into stigma. A message from the St. Lucia Red Cross.
You're watching MBC.
Welcome back to Police Insight. Your host here, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte. It's open mic. The intention was for us to have discussions on anything police related, but the number one topic has been COVID enforcement of COVID protocols, especially the fact that this weekend for the Easter celebration, we will see an adjustment to the curfew times. Easter Sunday and Monday, 3 p.m. Some have no problem with it, some have issues with it. And I have a message here from the WhatsApp texting platform. With the number of parties, street jams going on in St. Lucia, persons don't want us to compare our protocols to that of Jamaica. If we continue the way we're going, guess what's going to happen? Thank you so much. I'd like to say at this point in time, good night to Mistress Idella Volney of Deramo, and good night to you, the husband, Mr. Antonio Volney. Thank you so much for supporting the show. I'd like to say also good night to Cousin Lossie in Casabah. Good night, cuz. Thank you so much for supporting the show. 4533-911, 4533-911. Was that? Good night to you, and to Mara Nolly. Good night to you, all the way up there in Labon and the Nolly family. Thank you so much for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier on, an individual was, when the cause was bigging up the wardens, but also talking about approach. And I would like to say this: I'm usually a balanced person. Police officers, peace officers, we're the police. There are times we allow our emotions to get in the way of giving proper customer service. There are times we allow our emotions to get in the way of upholding the law. We're human, and that is why there is a system in place to deal with us if we have breached force discipline. So I would like to encourage that we need to approach a citizen with respect. There's no doubt about that. But there's this other side that we sometimes fail to bring into the conversation. And one of my earlier callers alluded to that. Same speed, people need to respect the police, need to respect the wardens. Recently there, I observed something, viewers. I observed something. I was at a particular establishment getting some groceries. Whilst there, a security officer approached a citizen, one of a client, and simply made a request. Excuse me, ma'am, is it possible you and your family, because of where you're standing, you are hindering other people from getting access to that aisle. So is it possible you could just shift? The security officer was so professional. Do you want to hear how the individual responded? Oh, but why? Are you see me blocking anybody? Am I blocking anybody? The security officer was taken aback. You could see it on his face. He was shocked. What was wrong with his approach? Nothing at all. So the reason why I'm saying this, we need to bring into the conversation where there are people, no matter the approach, you would come with the greatest of courtesies, politeness. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. You are wrongly parked. Sir, you're not supposed to be doing this. Ma'am, you're not supposed to be doing this. And people will choose to respond to you in an unpolite manner, in an aggressive manner. So whilst it is correct to point out and encourage law enforcement to approach some of you who have had that experience of a law enforcement officer not giving a proper courtesy or approaching you in a manner that could be considered professional. We also have to remember that we law enforcement officers get some responses that is not necessary. It has happened to me. And I'm not trying to, I don't know, maybe someone could tell me. I'm not really trying to, I'm talking about my experiences. I have had more bad responses or how do you say that, unpolite behavior from female drivers. And I'm serious. I don't know why. They say that the female mind is very complex. But I'm being honest. There was this time, I remember some time ago, that was last year. COVID was not even in the picture yet. A vehicle was parked on a double yellow line in Rodney Bay. The driver was in the vehicle. It was a female. Went up to her, excuse me, ma'am, good day, ma'am. And the intention was not, honestly, to give a ticket. Especially the place where she was parked. I assumed, and I correctly assumed, that because there is a food establishment near to that part of the street. So I assumed that either a passenger on the vehicle went and quickly buy something, etc. However, she was still badly parked. So I approached the driver with the kindest of tones, people. The kindest of tones. Good day, ma'am, I'm so-and-so, etc. Are you aware that you're parked in a double yellow line? People, you should have seen the response of the driver. You should have seen the response of the driver, to the point where she even wanted to, she tried to belittle my office. Sometimes we the police, we get that. In other words, like, who are you? My tax pays you. We hear that a lot. My tax pays you. As if like the police don't pay taxes. You understand? So it goes both ways, people. We need to be professional as police officers. And if an officer is being professional with you and being polite, there's no reason for you to be so aggressive in your response. Because it's just not going to be good for you. You've already committed the traffic infraction, the offense, and you still want to be wrong and strong again. It's not going to be good with you. And then you have a ticket to pay. I'd like to say good night to ASP Leonti of the Grosley Police Station, Inspector Labadie, good night to you. All the supervisors at Grosley Police Station, Sergeant Matthew, I know you guys have been doing great work there. The supervisors at the Rodney Bay Police Station, and also my staff at the medical facilities. I'd like to say good night to you all. Thank you for the support that you've been giving me. It's a team effort. in what we've been doing. We're almost going up to the top of the hour. I wanted to touch on something, a little bit about education. Because recently I got my hands on what you call a daily crime report, which our organization produces. And going through that report, I realized that for the past week, that the most committed offense island-wide was threats to kill. Threats to kill was the most committed offense island-wide. Okay, and when it comes to the criminal code, we have different sections of law, different citations of law when it comes to threats. Shane, did I send you? Yeah, can you put it on the screen, please? So, Section 543 of the Criminal Code speaks to threatening words or gestures. It says a person who A, utters to or at any other person any threatening words or gestures or behavior, or B, in any public way or public place, utters any threatening words concerning any other person, is liable on conviction to a fine of $1,000. Thank you, Shane. Now, some might be saying, man, that $1,000, that's very, that's nothing. I think it's a lot when you don't have $1,000. And we also have other sections. For example, there is a threats of death, section 114, which takes which takes the offense of threats to another level, where it says a person who threatens another with death or grievous harm, with intent to put that other person in fear of death or grievous harm, is liable on conviction and indictment for imprisonment for 5 years, or summary conviction for 2 years imprisonment. And there are certain circumstances where the police would actually use section 114 instead of the lesser section of 543. And that was the most committed offense the past week, island-wide. Threats is a very serious charge. And some of us believe that because we have the right of expression. We have a call? Okay, let's take that call. Good night, caller. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, Mr. Zachary, there's something I forgot to bring to your attention. I have a couple of weeks now, eh?
Yes, talk.
Yeah, years ago, I don't know how old are you, but I will always know you by far. My people number. Police used to have a program called Crime Diary. It was either before the news or after the news. And they'll tell you what happened for the day, whether somebody was robbed or
yes,
a passport was found, or a bag was found, and
I remember that.
Oh, remember that?
Yes.
I think that should come back. Eh?
It was a great initiative.
Very good thing, very good information and whatnot. Eh?
Yes.
That to happen. That's years ago. Years ago, there was no police inside. There was no police shows like now. And it was very good. And they say contact so and so if anybody has any information and so on and so forth. And that just disappeared out of the blue. So I feel for me, I mean, it should get back. So as institutions on either radio stations could have, broadcast it. So people watching TV will hear and they can say yes, this was so and so. Or people listening like me, like listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Say yes, I heard so and so. Let us contact the police on X, Y, Z. So I think that should be, I mean, brought back. But again, it takes a lot for that kind of program. It used to happen every day, Crime Diary. Okay, boss?
Thank you so much.
Right, good. Take care.
Thank you so much. I know that I'd like to believe that the press office, good night to you, Corporal and Joseph, is listening, and by all means, the police commissioner. So let's see if we can probably do a little more. And okay, I'd like to say good night to you, sir, Mr. Commissioner. He's definitely logged in. There's something that we wish to clarify, and I saw a mention of it in this Facebook live streaming chat, that there is this going out in social media, and I believe that there is a flyer somewhere circulating where there is a walk planned, and from what I'm hearing, I'm just saying from what I'm hearing, allegedly planned by a political figure from Bexar. I think it's Mr. Guy Joseph, I think. So I'd like to inform everyone that the Commissioner's Office has not given approval for any events for this weekend. So I'll repeat again, the Commissioner's Office has not given any approval. And if any approval was made, that permission has since been cancelled and withdrawn. So there are no walks or anything like that approved for this weekend by the Commissioner's Office. So I just wanted to make sure that we make that clear. So fun walks, picnics, gatherings, etc., not given approval. And even if it was approved, the permission has since been withdrawn by the Commissioner's Office. Okay, people, thank you. So let me see that. Okay, I have a message from the WhatsApp texting platform. Good evening, my brother. Persons need to understand. Remember that they have the power of choice, and even though they know what they're doing is wrong, they still do so, and don't expect to be approached by law enforcement. And that is so true. That is so true. So I have another question here, or another comment. The government put you guys and the wardens in a tough situation. They view you as the enemy. It's sad and scary right now. You deserve respect. Some don't. Once people respect the top, they respect you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewer, for that for that statement on the WhatsApp texting platform. Okay, we're almost done, although we did start 13 minutes late, but we got things to do. I need people to understand that whatever is put in place is not for the few, but for the whole. Okay? We've had deaths. We have had deaths from COVID. And whilst some of us, those who are alive and those who have not gone through that tragedy of losing a loved one to COVID, whereas we are left to our own opinions and ideas, which we have a right to debate as to whether it should be 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 4 p.m., whatever the case may be. The bottom line is that in all that deliberation, we tend to forget those who've lost their lives due to COVID. We tend to forget that the family members of those people who lost their lives are still going through that emotional trauma that mommy, daddy, husband, wife, brother, sister, best friend was well. And maybe if it was not for COVID, this individual would have been here with me another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Whilst we use that right to deliberate and say what we want on social media, we have individuals right now in quarantine because they've tested positive for COVID. There are those currently in ICU, and they would do anything because I could imagine how scary it is. Mr. Fadi, good night to you, sir, who was here a couple of weeks ago talking about his experience. So sometimes we need to take a moment and give a thought to those who have lost their lives due to COVID and those who are currently inflicted with it, hoping that the next test would say, you're doing better, it's time, you'll be out of here very soon. You know, it has been a very challenging time for the police force. Very, very challenging time. And despite what the fear of COVID and some of our members have contracted the disease, we still continue to deliver. Let me tell you something, people. I'm not saying we're perfect. I'm not saying we are perfect, which police force is. But I am proud to be a part of this organization. With all our little issues here and there, even internally, you still hear progress. You still hear arrests being made. You still hear persons. Well, you see, the problem is, I'll be honest with you, the negative will always continue to have the limelight. But there are a lot of individuals in St. Lucia who are satisfied with the service of the police. But you don't get individuals who, let's say, the police was able to crack the case, the police was able to do this for them. You will not get these individuals coming on the television and saying that. Likewise, I know there are still individuals out there who are still hoping for a prayer that, for example, who knows, like my cousin Lossie who was robbed of his motorcycle and still cannot get any form of justice. There are individuals out there who are hoping for a prayer that, hey, the police could call them and give them the good news. It's difficult. It is difficult. You know, day and day, those, especially those involved in criminal investigations, would receive 5 reports, 6 reports, 7 reports. And by the time the next day come, another 6, 7, 8, and another 8, 9, 10 people. It's not easy. You know, my mother used to say, to know if a rooster is snoring, you need to sleep with it. But I'm telling you, I am proud to be a police officer. And there are those of us who falter, we deal with them. There are those of us who knows, at the time, slip of the mind, slip of composure, but we still deal with them. And our commissioners, all genuine police officers have at the forefront of their heart to serve people. And most of the times we're not that appreciated. Without the police, there's no carnival. And I'm not talking about hopefully when COVID is gone. Without police, there's no carnival. Without police, there's no Genie Creole. Without police, there's no jazz. Without police, there's no event. And those people who have decided to dedicate themselves to service, do you know how it feels to hear every day the problems of other human beings? The things you witness, the things you see as a police officer, from gruesome murders to young vulnerable persons being sexually assaulted, and you soak that in like a sponge, because we're human, yeah? And then you're still expected to be a father, to be a mother, to be a husband, to be a wife when you go home. Where sometimes your loved one don't understand that, hey, you knock off already, but why ain't you home? It's nothing easy, people. I could tell you that. And I pray God every day. I pray to God for myself, for my colleagues, those who like me and those who don't like me. It doesn't matter. Because this job is very difficult. But at the same time, for those of us who are genuine, there's nothing that makes us feel better. It's not the promotion, you know. The promotion for a genuine officer is just added bonus. But what really gives you that sense of gratification is when you could look at a victim, a client, and say, "Sir, ma'am, I recovered your goods. Sir, ma'am, we've found a suspect. Sir, ma'am, we have charged an individual. Sir, ma'am, we got a guilty plea. Sir, ma'am, I am calling to tell you that we have found so-and-so. We've found your loved one." There's nothing better than that, people. Trust me. So I'd like to thank everyone for sending the messages on WhatsApp. Those of you on Facebook, thank you for your support. Those who call in, next Tuesday, hopefully, there's an amazing guest I'm really trying to track down. So hopefully that individual will appear. I'd like to quickly shout out those at the Marine Unit, because right now we know what's going on in St. Vincent. If, God forbid, we have a natural disaster, you guys have so much to play, such an important part to play. Anyway, have a good weekend. Follow the protocols. Happy Easter, everyone. See you next Tuesday. Good night.